We need to talk about the possibility of PvP coming to Modern Warfare Zombies. PvP stands for player versus player, and in the last 48 hours, a renowned COD leaker on Twitter called RealityUK posted a tweet hinting to the fact that PvP is coming at some point to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. He then follows this tweet up to say that this is going to be a completely separate mode to the main Modern Warfare 3 Zombies mode, which won't have PvP enabled, but there is at some point going to be a separate playlist where players will be able to kill other players inside zombies. Now, we have no idea how accurate this tweet is. We don't know if this leak is genuine, although some people have claimed that since the Season 1 Reloaded update, there has been code found in the game relating to PvP. And there is potential that it could be a game mode within the main game itself. Just like we see when you load into the Dark Ether, it loads up a completely different game instance, and the Dark Ether is considered a game mode by the game, but there's no indication at all on when this is going to happen. But again, this has to be taken with a huge pinch of salt, because until this gets confirmed by Activision and Treyarch, this might just never actually come to the game, even though there could be the potential of plans for it. Regardless if this is fake or real, I wanted to talk about this in this video because there is actually some weird evidence that was found in the game that suggests that this could actually be a thing. But we'll talk about the implications of it, as well as if there is a place for this sort of game style within zombies, and obviously talk about the good and the bad about this. Now, I really want to know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below, because this is going to be a really controversial topic. But when you are leaving your thoughts below, please be aware that according to RealityUK, this is a separate game mode. So this won't directly affect the main Modern Warfare Zombies mode that we've all been playing since November. This sounds like it will be completely separate to that, which I think is a very good thing if this is actually true. Now, the main reason why I feel there could be some weight to this is on Reddit about a month or so ago, there was at least 2 gameplay clips posted where there was some sort of glitch in the lobby where PvP was enabled. Looking at this clip posted by WilsonatorYT, you can see that by complete accident shooting the car, he was actually able to put damage into the other player. And as a retaliation from that player going down, he starts shooting at Wilsonator, and as you can see, he is actually applying damage. And in both instances, there is a pop-up on the top right about a player being downed, and then when he downs the player again, it appears again, displaying text saying enemy downed, although at the end was given the option to revive the player. So clearly, coding and the way that PvP works does at least exist within Modern Warfare Zombies. Otherwise, this clip would have never been able to happen in an actual live game, but it did. Now, to me, there are 2 explanations for this. The first and the most likely scenario is that Modern Warfare Zombies is built off the backbones of the DMZ mode from Modern Warfare 2. So many systems are shared from this mode and DMZ, such as the actual exfiltration system, the backpack and invent screen beforehand, the fact that it's 3 players per squad can be assimilated up to 6, contracts, the buy station. There is so much shared. So either this is weird spaghetti DMZ code that has spilled out into Modern Warfare Zombies for some reason, or that earlier versions of Modern Warfare Zombies might have been toyed around with PvP enabled, and then a decision might have been made fairly late into development if they were going to have PvP enabled or not. Let's delve a little bit into some facts as well as my opinion on all of this, because I feel very conflicted on the idea of PvP in Modern Warfare Zombies, because right now I love how Modern Warfare Zombies works. I love how the fact that there are 24 players on the map and matches feel really social, where you'll bump into other teams, you'll be typing in the text chat, you'll be doing stuff. I love it. Before the launch of Modern Warfare 3, we got a glimpse of what an open world with dozens and dozens of players with zombies on the map would be like, but with PvP enabled, and that was during the Haunting event in DMZ. They added some incredible zombies Halloween boss fights, which were really cool to have, but were made 10 times more frustrating by the fact that real players could kill you in the process of you trying to earn the entry to a boss fight, or literally killing you whilst you were in a boss fight. And it not only made the whole experience way more difficult than it needed to be, but also just ruined it. So I was really happy to see that PvP wasn't a thing in Modern Warfare Zombies. However, coming straight off the back of DMZ, which is an extraction shooter just like MWZ, the whole point of that genre and with DMZ is that there was a massive risk tied every time you went into a game, because you could have an amazing run where you could get some incredible loot, but you want to take that out safely, but you always had the worry of other people potentially being able to kill you. And not only that, there was also benefit to killing other players because you could get their loot, which is the whole point of a looter shooter, but also elevated the risk to reward. Now, the strange thing about Modern Warfare Zombies is that it also follows the same DNA of an extraction shooter, where you are taking stuff out in between rounds, but there is virtually little to no risk whatsoever within a game because the only threats you have are zombies, right? You can't be killed by other players. Once you've played the game enough and you have the best meta weapons, unless you're really unlucky when it comes to a certain encounter, you don't have enough self-revives on you, you're never really going to die. So there really isn't much risk every time you jump into a game. The only real risk I can think of is either fighting a mega abomination or fighting the red worm and not defeating it in time. Other real players in the game pose zero issue to you. So perhaps we're looking a bit further into that risk reward portion of Modern Warfare Zombies. Maybe Treyarch are experimenting with how far they can go to widen that gap of risk reward and hopefully include some really high tier loot and rewards for taking on this PvP version of the game mode. Now, one of the other big parts of DMZ was that when a player died, even if they left the game, their body would still be there, but you'd also have their backpack where you could loot it. And we don't see that at all in Modern Warfare Zombies currently. A player could die, they could have pleaded, have gotten so bored of waiting for someone to pick them up that they just left the game and their body would be there, but the loot's not there. Perhaps within this separate PvP mode, that could be something that would differ, where you could actually pick up other players' loot if they died or left the game entirely. Another thing which I've noticed, which is really weird in the gameplay example, is that the car is red for the player, meaning they are like an enemy. So again, is that just leftover code from DMZ, or was this the early signs of Treyarch testing PvP in this game mode? But another really interesting way to look at it is that DMZ is flat out no longer being supported with any updates. So any DMZ players that want something new and fresh obviously went over to Modern Warfare Zombies, but since there is no PvP, is lacking many of the aspects that made DMZ attractive to those players. And so this is their way of experimenting to bring some of that player base back or over to Modern Warfare Zombies who might have stuck with DMZ. I think the real intrigue here is that adding something like this to Zombies obviously has a lot of pros and cons, but I think for some players, they might actually really love the idea of this, because outside of completing all of the act missions, getting all of the schematics, there isn't much else to do. And so adding PvP adds that extra layer to making things slightly more challenging if there was new stuff added to the game where PvP was a thing you had to worry about. But on the other hand, if they add PvP into Zombies, then Zombies no longer become the main primary threat of the game mode. It would be other players, and I don't really think that's how Zombies should be. I definitely think at this point, Modern Warfare Zombies has secured itself as being the Outbreak 2.0 successor that we were all hoping that Outbreak would become. And I really want to see this mode evolve and grow because it's got so much potential, but I don't think PvP, even as a separate game mode, makes sense for the game mode in my opinion, because then it's just DM Zombies. It's not Modern Warfare Zombies anymore. And I don't think adding PvP is the sort of content that us, the players, are looking for now as the next thing that we want to do. We just want to have more act missions. We just want to have fun new bosses, some new Easter egg quests, just a lot of fun new things that require a lot of teamwork with other people in the game to complete, over just randomly adding PvP into the game several months after launch. I just don't really know how to feel about it. And especially when judging how The Haunting went, I really didn't like PvP being enabled in a game mode like that, where the main focus was to try and complete these Halloween zombie boss fights. But then we also need to consider that this is just a separate game mode, so it doesn't actually affect Modern Warfare Zombies from the main mode. And this is all just a rumor that might not actually come true or come to the game. So I don't think we need to worry just yet, but I would love to know your thoughts on all of this down below in the comment section. Be sure to drop the video a thumbs up so that more people on YouTube can see it and it'll be pushed in the algorithm. And of course, a link to the original leak tweet from RealityUK will be down in the description.